So, San Marino, worst team in the world, or are they? In today's video, we're going to run a little simulation experiment to put that to the test. Yes, hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, bringing you another international management video. Remember, this channel is your one-stop shop for all things international management on Football Manager, so if that's your kind of thing, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, get the bell on for notifications. So as I said in the intro there, it's a bit of a simulation experiment today. Are San Marino actually the worst team in the world? They are, of course, the whipping boys of European football. I mean, ask any England fans about the most recent encounter between the two sides, and they consistently loiter around the bottom of the world rankings with the likes of Anguilla and Sri Lanka and the British Virgin Islands. But are they really as bad as that? Now, long-time viewers of this channel may remember in the International Manager of Mystery series we did over the summer, I, as manager of Anguilla, arranged a friendly with San Marino, and let's just say, yeah, not one of my favourite matches from the Football Manager 2021 cycle. We were beaten quite heavily, and that got me thinking, are San Marino actually as bad as some of those tiny Caribbean and Oceanic islands, some of those tiny nations around Asia and Africa, or are they just victims of their geography, doomed to sit at the bottom of the world rankings because they're constantly getting thrashed by England and Germany or even Albania? So I delved into the editor and I've set up a mini tournament in the game, the Other Final Minnow Tournament. Why is it called the Other Final? Well, named after the 2003 documentary film in which a couple of Dutch filmmakers managed to arrange a game between Bhutan and Montserrat, who at the time were the two lowest ranked teams in the world, and it's played on the same day as the 2002 World Cup final. If you want to watch it, there's a link to a recording that's available on YouTube down in the description. So inspired by that, I've put together a tournament with not just two teams at the bottom of the world rankings, but 12 teams. Basically all the teams from 200 down to 211. So that gives us 12 teams to choose from. Now, in this particular simulation, I've done it in 2023, so it doesn't interfere with any other major competitions. The file I've made does repeat every 2 years, so it will be played every odd-numbered year in the Northern Hemisphere summer. But as you can see, these are the 12 teams that have come up for this particular simulation that we're going to be looking at today. So all the real basement teams. We've got teams from the Caribbean like Anguilla, US and British Virgin Islands, Turks and Caicos Islands, Bahamas, Aruba in here as well. We've got San Marino and Gibraltar from Europe. Then from Asia, we've got Guam, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and we've got Eritrea from Africa. So if we put these teams into a tournament, who's going to come out on top? Before we go any further, just a little hint. If you ever want to run an experiment like this by yourself, if you're looking at a particular nation, a particular competition, you want to come down here to where it says detail level. And if we just click on that, now you'll see the other final, it comes up here. I've set match detail to all competitive matches. That means every match that gets played as we run this simulation, I won't be managing in it, of course, it will be run in full detail. Meaning basically it won't just quick sim the results, it will actually play out the match, which will be useful for us to look at some highlights later. But we see the group draw's been made. San Marino have been put in Group A, so they're in there with British Virgin Islands, Eritrea, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and US Virgin Islands as well. And Group B contains Gibraltar, who are hosting the tournament, along with Anguilla, Aruba, and Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, so a bit of a Caribbean feel to Group B, and Guam as well. So before we go any further and actually look at this, just pause the video, go down in the comments, let me know who you think is going to win, how well you think San Marino are going to do in this. Are they going to prove to be better than the likes of Pakistan and Eritrea? So as we holiday through to the first match day, if you're also interested in playing this tournament, well, I'm making the file available to my Patreon supporters. At all tiers, I'm going to make this available, whatever tier you support at. So if you're interested in playing and you want to support the channel, head over to Patreon and check out what we've got on offer. And before we start to look at the first couple of games, a couple of other points to mention. Leagues-wise, I downloaded Klassen San Marino League from the Steam Workshop, the official SI Gibraltar League. I loaded Singapore just because that gives the option for a start date of June 2022, so there was less holidaying to do. And I also chose an option in the database setup to load every current international player, so you should find all nations have a full squad of players. Well, how about that day one of the tournament? Tiny San Marino taking on Pakistan with their population of 200 and something million, and San Marino got the win 1-0. Both teams actually having a player sent off, so it seems it was a bit of a fiery encounter. Let's have a look at the goal here. This is the advantage of having the tournament run on full detail. We see the cross in there to Berardi. Early goal with just 4 minutes on the clock. Match day 2 with the US Virgin Islands, and wow, a huge clash. 4-2 victory for San Marino. Berardi obviously want to watch. Beautiful Cruyff turn there to set up Nani for the final goal. So after 2 matches, San Marino in a great position to qualify. Up next, a crunch clash with the British Virgin Islands. And they've done it again. Another big win. A 3-2 win. But this time, they had to dig in, come back from 2-1 down to score 2 late goals. So first we had Berardi setting up Nani with a cheeky little back heel there with 9 minutes to go. And then Berardi at the back post, injury time to grab a vital winner. So with Sri Lanka and Eritrea to go, it's looking pretty good for our San Marinese boys. So San Marino finally hit a bit of a road bump on match day 4 as they drew 0-0 with Sri Lanka. Ooh, and then a hard-fought game and the first defeat of the competition as they went down 1-0 to Eritrea. So the question is, would those first 3 wins be enough to see them through? And the answer is yes, they actually topped the group ahead of the British Virgin Islands. So, nice job, San Marino. And if we check in on Group B, Gibraltar, host nation, stormed through in first, Aruba joining them in second, Guam rock bottom. But I guess looking at both groups side by side, or one above the other at least, US Virgin Islands turn out to be the whipping boys of the competition. So now we got the semi-finals. San Marino play Aruba, British Virgin Islands play Gibraltar. Oh, but San Marino's poor run continues. That's now 3 games in the competition without a win, 3 games without a goal as they went down 2-0 to Aruba. And looking at the match stats over here, you can't say that they deserved anything more than that. Berardi went down injured as well, but they held on, but Aruba got a penalty and then scored shortly afterwards with a second goal. So they're through to the final. Ooh, where it will be an all-Caribbean affair. British Virgin Islands shocking Gibraltar in extra time. This time, though, if we look at the stats, definitely a game that went against the run of play. British Virgin Islands equalising, forcing extra time in the 88th minute, and then just proving to have that cutting edge late on. And here's the action from that third place playoff. We see here, it's European opposition for San Marino, the thing they fear, and an early goal for Gibraltar. That proved to be decisive, Gibraltar getting a win. And again, looking at the stats, San Marino really not up to it. So yeah, looking through their run, I mean, a great start in the tournament, but then it all fell apart from that Sri Lanka game onwards. And Aruba, it was who would claim victory in the final. And fair play to them, they got through the entire tournament undefeated. So that run in the competition brought San Marino 1 place up in the world rankings. Aruba, meanwhile, have shot up to 192nd. Now, if you were to add this to your game, remember it's available to my Patreon supporters as an add-on file. If you were to run this to 2025, you would find then a different 12 teams would appear. It would be basically all the teams from 200th down to 211th. So you get that rotation each time. But yeah, although they ultimately finished 4th and couldn't win the competition, I think we proved that San Marino are not necessarily the worst team in the world. Maybe we should be looking at US Virgin Islands or Guam or Anguilla for that title. And of course, this was with the AI in charge of all teams. Now, if you're watching this video on its day of release on Wednesday, don't forget to head over to Twitch tonight because I will be running this tournament in charge of San Marino to see if I can outdo the AI. But for now, thank you very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed that mini look at this tournament. I will be uploading a video package of highlights from the Twitch stream later on this week as a kind of part 2, so make sure you check that out. And so you don't miss out on any of the international action, make sure you've liked this video, you're subscribed to the channel, you've got the bell on for notifications. I'm Dodgy Gamer, and I'll see you again soon.